Hi there. So, I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that writing a novel is easy, because it's not. It takes time. An adult fiction novel is anywhere between 80 to 90,000 words, which I'm sure you'll agree is a lot of words. Writing something of that length takes commitment, and it takes self-belief that what you're writing is good and is going to be something that other people are going to want to read. And so, for the majority of people who dream of writing a novel, that's as far as they get, dreaming about it, because they think they don't have the time. They can't commit to something this big, and it's not going to be good anyway, and nobody will read it. But luckily for you, you've stumbled across me. And so you're not just going to be a dreamer, you're going to actually do it. This is where first draft freedom and telling yourself the story walks in through your front door and climbs up on your shoulder and shows you a way of reaching that target without even really noticing that you've done it. If you watched my last video, if you haven't, I'd recommend it, you'll remember that I said that getting first draft freedom on the telling yourself the story course would mean that you would learn to develop a routine, learn how to carve out time to prioritize yourself, learn how easy it is to be disciplined when you're doing something you love and enjoy, give your writing priority, which will create an energy inside you that in turn will give the task momentum. And finally, you'll learn that there is no better goal than working towards something for no other reason than that it gives you pleasure. I told you that in this video, I'd show you how to start implementing first draft freedom and that I'd walk you through a simple strategy that you can use to get results fast. And here it is.
I'm now going to focus on three incredible authors to illustrate my points here: Jane Austen, Charles Dickens, and George Orwell, and particularly their three novels, Pride and Prejudice, A Tale of Two Cities, and 1984. All of these novels are universally revered. All are considered great literary works, and all of them have pitch-perfect, gripping and fantastic first lines that don't so much draw the reader into the story as drag them headfirst into a rich, evocative and truthful world. But none of these authors, none of them, sat down and bashed out these first lines, let alone the full manuscript of the book, in one fell swoop, and they began to write. Pride and Prejudice begins, "It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife." Originally called First Impressions, Pride and Prejudice was actually rejected at first by publishers in 1797. It took Austen over 15 years before it was published as we know it in 1813. And even when it was published, Austen was unhappy with it, saying she thought it lacked shade. Her peer, Charlotte Bronte, said that she found it a disappointment. A Tale of Two Cities begins, "It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief, it was the epoch of incredulity. It was the season of light, it was the season of darkness. It was the spring of hope, it was the winter of despair. We had everything before us, we had nothing before us. We were all going direct to heaven, we were all going direct the other way." Now, Dickens wrote A Tale of Two Cities in a period of great personal and professional change. He had separated from his wife of 23 years and was quarrelling with his publisher. He had begun a relationship with a young actress in a play he was appearing in, and it is believed that much of the love triangle of the plot of A Tale of Two Cities is based on the reality of his love life at the time. 1984 begins, "It was a bright cold day in April and the clocks were striking 13. Winston Smith, his chin nuzzled into his breast in an effort to escape the vile wind, slipped quickly through the glass doors of Victory Mansions, though not quickly enough to prevent a swirl of gritty dust from entering along with him." Orwell, too, wrote 1984 under great duress after the recent death of his wife and suffering from tuberculosis. Under huge time pressure from his agent, he wrote to a friend that writing a book is a horrible, exhausting struggle, like a long bout of some painful illness. One would never undertake such a thing if one were not driven by some demon whom one can neither resist or understand. For all one knows, that demon is the same instinct that makes a baby squall for attention. He went on to say, of course, the rough draft is always a ghastly mess, bearing little relation to the finished result, but at the same time, it is the main part of the job. These are three of the most admired authors in the English language, and yet each of them suffered in their writing. They didn't merely sit down at their desks and churn out classics on demand. They had to coax these ideas and worlds from their inner recesses, often at great cost to themselves. What I'm saying is that to suppose that writing a novel is an easy task is to disrespect the craft. Writing is a process, and you are at the very beginning of it. It is the most rewarding endeavour you will ever embark upon, but it will demand things from you that you may be reluctant to give. We don't need to worry about those at this stage. All we need to do is start, but we do not have to construct first lines of the brilliance of Orwell or Austen or Dickens, not at this stage. All we need to do is tell ourselves our story and get the bones and the shape of it down on paper. So let us begin.
It's all about confidence. It's about believing that you're taking the first step on this journey, that even those people we consider great had this journey to make. But we will never know if we're great if we don't even start. In the course Telling Yourself the Story, we'll be looking at the fundamental aspects of novel writing, the building blocks that make a really good story. You'll be given examples and practical exercises to make all of it really clear. We'll also look in depth at structure and plotting your novel. Coming up in my next videos, I'll go into what we'll cover in more depth, and I'll talk about the one thing that makes this course different from all the other creative writing and novel writing courses that you've seen advertised on the web. I really want you to join me, so I am setting up an early bird waitlist, and if you sign up to that, you'll get access to the registration link the night before the course launches, and if you get in early, there's another special bonus. So just click on the link, fill out the form, enter your name and email address to reserve your spot, and you'll get early access to the programme. And next time, in the next video, I'm going to tell you a secret. Seriously, and it's going to spur you on to write your novel when all the other tactics you've tried have failed. Honestly, don't blame me, but it's going to make you really, really excited, and you're going to want to start writing right away. It's going to be really good fun. I hope you found this video useful. Thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to show you what I've got for you in the next video. So until then, goodbye.